Hi, this is John Delancey, and you are listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hey, it's Mistress Carrie, and you are listening to Studio 2009.
Hey! What's going on in there?
There's nothing wrong with your podcast player. Do not attempt to adjust the volume.
Hello and welcome back into our studio. You are now inside Studio 2009, only on the Geekcast Radio Network. I am, of course, the insanely stupid TFG1Mike. Joining me, as always, is Steve Megatron. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I just told you I'm insanely stupid.
Yes.
Today, we are heading
I'm not going to disagree.
Well, you know, after 17 and a half, almost 18 years, you already know.
Well, they also don't have context of what was discussed off air.
Yes, well, you know, I added up the episodes that are online currently of Studio 2009, and from January to December, what's online before this episode goes online is episode 120 of Studio 2009, all the way up to 162. That's 43 episodes in 1 year of this podcast. Meanwhile, the Pull Bag has had 9 episodes this year. But that's Joe Reed's fault, because he doesn't know where his damn comics are. Anyway, today we are heading back to 1985 to revisit the John Hughes directed masterpiece that is The Breakfast Club.
It is now 7:06. You have exactly 8 hours and 54 minutes to ponder the error of your ways. Any questions?
Yeah. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
A brain, a beauty, a jock, a rebel, and a recluse.
Can't believe this is really happening to me.
Before this day is over, they'll break the rules.
Chicks cannot hold a smoke. That's what it is.
Bare their souls.
I'm a nymphomaniac.
Are your parents aware of this?
Take some chances.
Being bad feels pretty good, huh?
And touch each other in a way they never dreamed possible.
Why'd you do that?
Because I knew you wouldn't.
The Breakfast Club. They only met once.
I don't want to be alone anymore.
You don't have to be.
But it changed their lives forever.
I mean, I consider you guys my friends. I'm not wrong, am I?
Universal Pictures presents Emilio Estevez, Paul Gleason, Anthony Michael Hall, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, and Ali Sheedy in a John Hughes film.
Why are you being so nice to me? Because you're letting me.
The Breakfast Club.
I have seen this movie over and over and over again over the years. Have you ever seen this movie? I don't we never talk about this.
Yeah,
movie,
we've never talked about it, funny enough. Yeah. But I have seen it before. It's been years.
Right, yeah.
To the point I forgot a good 50% of the film. So when I was rewatching, I was like, holy crap. One, not only how young everyone is here, because, I mean, a lot of these people are in their, 60s.
Now they are, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's humorous from that standpoint alone. Yeah. But then, looking back and going, wow, they're super young here. They're super young here. They're super here, and then, of course, I'm looking at, Judd Nelson, and I'm like, he is Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Hey, cop, don't you think we have better things to do now than tell old stories?
Like what?
Like maybe figure out how we're going to rescue our friends and then save Cybertron.
And hearing all of the crap coming out of his mouth here was just like, that's not Hot Rod.
That's not, that was my thing. I'm like, how is this guy Hot Rod? It doesn't even sound like him.
What do you guys do in your club? In physics, well, we talk about physics, properties of physics. So it's sort of social, demented and sad, but social. right?
And I know they put vocals. I know they put some sort of vocoder or something on his voice, or they did something to his voice to get the hot rod voice.
Yeah, but what about our problems? We need a ship.
You get ship if I get trip.
Who are you?
Him Wheelie. Him friend.
He'll be mine too if he can find a ship.
Give stare over there.
That's a ship.
Who cares, as long as it flies.
For the movie and whatever, but I think so for context, folks, I was 5 years old when this movie came out. There's no way in hell I saw this in theaters, didn't even know about it in 1985. And Steve, I don't even think was a glint in his parents' eye yet, because he wasn't even born.
I was not born.
Yeah, no, you were not born yet.
I saw this, I think, in the early 2000s when for the first time.
Yeah, I think I saw it somewhere in the mid 90s, somewhere like probably 10 years, probably 95, 96, somewhere around there is when I first saw it. So when I was 15 or 16 or something or other. And it was okay. At the time, you got to keep it. When I say it was okay, I was 15 or 16 and I was going through a bunch of other stuff. So I wasn't really paying attention to it back then. When I saw it again, like you're saying, in the mid 2000s kind of thing, I really got into it. I really dug it, and I love it to this day. So there's that. As far as the last time I saw it, oh God, it's been years. It really has been years since I've seen this. And the funny thing is, most of the stuff in the movie, like it's just one of those movies that lives in my, don't mess with the bull, son. You'll get the horns. Like, God, just freaking.
I was like, yeah, that's some context. I forgot.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm just so glad Deputy Dwayne D. Robinson didn't say that, though, in the other film 3 years later.
Die Hard.
But yeah, it's been a few years since I've actually seen Breakfast Club. As far as what I remember most about it before catching up with it, I remember pretty much all of it. Like this is not one of those watch it and then forget about it films for me. It's more of I watch it, it's stuck with me, and I pretty much remember it as soon as I see it kind of films. At the same time, it isn't like how we talked about the G.I. Joe films where I watched it, I liked what I saw, although I don't know. Like Breakfast Club, I could visit every maybe 5 or 10 years, whereas G.I. Joe, I don't feel like I need to revisit those films. But at the same time, Breakfast Club is like, I know it enough to where it's almost like, I don't know. It's not one of those films that I have in my rotation I feel like I need to watch it because it is very deep and emotional. It's not just 5 kids going to detention. It's not just 5 kids sitting there writing their papers that Mr. Vernon thinks they should write. It's a lot more than that.
Well, and then I was pleasantly surprised, like how they all got there, and then kind of wrapping it up, and one, I loved the different, like you'd had the different kind of stereotypical characters of everything. You had your jock, you had your your weird goth kid, you had the the preppy kid, you had the nerd, you had the the punk that got in trouble with everything. Yeah. And then you had the principal, and I feel like this film, the standout character here was the janitor.
Oh yeah, Carl was awesome.
I was sitting here and I was going, man, watching this, like he's like, I am the eyes and ears of this place. By the way, the clock is 20 minutes fast. Like, And then they kind of smirked at him, like, because he was like, hey, heads up, And I don't know, like, I found him just as relatable as the students, but I found it funny. He was the word of wisdom to the kids about, I hear all your conversations. I read all your notes. I know everything. I'm literally everywhere. And then, when he's talking to Vernon, he's talking about, cause he's like, oh, these punk kids, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And he's like, they're not the ones that changed. You did. Like, he was giving like the perspective to each generation.
Yep.
And he's kind of sitting here in the middle, riding the line. Like, I'm old, but I'm not like naive and out of touch.
Well, he's basically the middle of it. It's kind of, oh God, what can I equate to? He would basically be like if Wheelie was not an Autobot. If Wheelie was coming in the middle of the Autobots and Decepticons and looking at as an objective thing, like consumer goods, military hardware, and whatever's in the middle of that kind of thing. That's what Janitor Carl is. And I did not think I would ever feel any kind of remorse or anything for Principal Vernon until that scene happens. Until you hear the two of them talking. Vernon was always the villain. You can, grab your own damn horns, you fool. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is, but because you don't want him to win. All the hallway scenes of them trying to outsmart him and blah, 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 blah. And then the sacrifice that Bender makes when they're right after they finish the running, well, how are we going to get back? We're all stuck. And Bender's like, no, just me. Here, I'll go and I'll be the psycho and I'll be the this and I'll be the criminal that I am. And he ends up in the, like, they're just like, when you first watch this movie, you assume it's going to be 5 kids in detention. And you see that library. That library is amazing. Like,
it's huge. And I'm like, man. And then like it's 2 stories. And I'm like, that is cool. Yeah, like my library was huge too. It wasn't 2 stories.
It wasn't 2 stories.
No, but then I loved how, Judd Nelson jumped up on like he kind of like went monkey on them.
Yep.
And then he jumps up on the railing and just yanks himself up.
Yeah.
And I had a little chuckle at that. I'm like, I could picture my kid doing that, but I could also picture me trying to do that too, in that type of situation. And then he like flips around it and everything. And it's like, okay, this was kind of cool. And I'm like, how many tries did that take him to get it right before,
I wonder. So
I don't know. Like, there was so much.
Yeah.
And then you got a lot of the facts that, as they spent a lot of time arguing and, getting into drugs and sneaking around the building and listening to music and destroying things, you get to learn why they're all there, like all the different pressures that have been put on them, all of the reasonings that they're, struggling. And, then they kind of come up with this camaraderie where they're, this hodgepodge group together struggling. And, it's like they're all in a foxhole together.
Yep, pretty much.
And they're at war with Vernon.
With Vernon,
Vice Principal Vernon. And so I found it very interesting how it all kind of came down. And then rather than writing each individual, they crafted one that spoke for all of them.
Yeah. And I love how, and I remember this scene from when I watched it years ago, and obviously I watched it because literally, folks, I just finished watching the film like an hour or so ago from when we're recording this. But I I've always loved the scene where they're like, instead of us all writing the same paper, why don't you just write it for us, Brian, since you're the brain, since you're the academic. And it feels like they're pushing their homework on him at first. Like, I remember when I first watched, I'm like, oh, you guys, come on, don't peer pressure. Like, and they're not. They're really not. But I can see somebody might try to make that argument, but they're not. They're basically saying, look, you're the one that does this the best. You're the academic. We trust you. Let you write it in your voice. We trust your voice to speak for us. And we've all spent this entire day together. We've gone through this entire adventure playing keep away from Mr. Vernon and everything else. And, you know, we've all opened up and, you know, we want you to write it because we trust what you'll say. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's awesome because, you know, what I love about, and I had forgotten some of the stuff, but I love which is funny because the tagline is different than the actual, what they actually say in the movie. So there's two short taglines for it, and then there's one long one. The short ones are, they only met once, but it changed their lives forever, and 5 strangers with nothing in common except each other. The longer one is, there were 5 total strangers with nothing in common, meeting for the first time, a brain, a beauty, a jock, a rebel, and a recluse. Before the day was over, they broke the rules, bared their souls, and touched each other in a way they never dreamt possible. Now, just to go back, a brain, a beauty, a jock, a rebel, and a recluse. That's not what's said in the movie.
No.
What's said in the movie is...
But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain.
And an athlete.
And a basket case.
A princess.
And a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club.
A brain, an athlete, a basket case. Brain, an athlete, a basket case.
A princess,
and a criminal. That's what it is. Which is fine. I'm not complaining about it. I just wanted to point it out that I think that it's interesting that the marketing for the movie says something completely different than what the actual movie itself says. And like you said, we do find out because what's the point of the movie if we don't find out why they're all there? If we as the audience don't find out why they're all there, kind of thing. And they spend this whole day. We find out that Claire is there for skipping school to go shopping. We find out that Bender is serving detention for pulling the fire alarm. We also find out that Andrew pulled a practical joke on one of the other jocks by pulled a practical joke on one of the other students by taping his butt cheeks together in an attempt to win both his teammates and his father's approval. No.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little cheeky, but, you know.
Oh! No.
I couldn't resist.
Go to the corner. Brian is under so much academic pressure from his parents to get good grades that he contemplated suicide after getting an F in shop class, and he was sent to detention for bringing a flare gun to school. Now, see, I thought in this that he had said he attempted. I didn't realize he just contemplated it. I didn't realize it was just he thought about killing himself.
But he brought a flare gun.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But hello, everyone. TFG1Mike here from the Geekcast Radio Network. I'm going to break in here in the Breakfast Club episode of Studio 2009 really quickly just to let you know that suicide is not the answer. You can go to geekcastradio.com and find my blog post about that. That was day 58 of 2019, I believe. I'll link it in the show notes, but I attempted in 1994 when I was 14 years old, and ever since then I have talked up how suicide is not the answer. So I just wanted to put this little thing in here. If you need help, there are ways to get help. 988 on your phones, dial that. There's the 800 number. I don't have that off the top of my head, but I do know that 988, if you dial that, that is the suicide prevention hotline. If you need help, if you need to talk to somebody, we are out there. We will help in any way that we can. Thank you so much. Now back to the Breakfast Club here on Studio 2009. I thought it was more, I'm not saying it's not serious. I thought it was more serious. Like he actually attempted suicide at the time. But, and then Allison's got a lot of problems. She's compulsively dishonest and she has neglectful parents. She is constantly stealing things to use should she ever choose to run away from everything. She admits that she showed up to detention for lack of anything better to do. I don't know if that's I don't know.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true. She not only is she a compulsive liar, she's also a rabid thief. If she's constantly stealing things, Vice Principal Vernon must have caught her stealing something. Somebody must have caught her stealing something from somebody at the school. So we may never know what Allison was actually in detention for. But yeah, no, this movie, man, just it's just one of those movies that, and I know this goes along the lines with 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink and St. Elmo's Fire. St. Elmo's Fire is another movie I want to cover next year at some point, because I think we missed the anniversary on that, which is fine. Doesn't matter. We can still cover it, obviously, but St. Elmo's Fire is a completely different movie than what this is, but that has Demi Moore, Rob Lowe, and a bunch of other people in it, I think. I forget off the top of my head. But it's another group of friends type of movie, but it's by John Hughes, as far as I remember, I think. But it's in the same Brat Pack type of thing. But Breakfast Club, man, and I just hope that, and I'm so glad that we you don't need a sequel to this.
Oh, no.
40 years later, we don't need a sequel to this. Paul Gleason is no longer with us, as far as I remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, he died in like 2006 or something.
Yeah, something like that. And we'll get into the cast and all that here in a minute, folks. But this is another one of those that I've been talking about on the podcast, and I will talk about in the podcast in future episodes. This is a movie that is one and done and all that.
Well, something funny about Paul Gleason playing the assistant principal.
Yes.
In this is that he somewhat he plays a lot of like FBI sheriff and like detective characters. But he plays like there's a music video thing in like 99 where he plays assistant principal Richard Vernon again.
Yep.
And then in Not Another Teen Movie, he's Principal Richard Vernon.
Yes, he is.
And I was like, okay, so they purposely connected these on purpose here.
Oh, of course they did. Yes.
And I thought that was just funny.
Yeah.
And he plays like Professor McDougal and Van Wilder.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, he's pretty much always played like the authoritarian in everything he's in.
Yeah, pretty much.
He even was in a show in the 80s, or actually the late 70s. It was a TV movie, and he was Major James T. Kirk. I was like, so he got to play Kirk as well.
Yay.
So I thought it was funny. Anyways, Yeah. So, I mean, I always love irony when actors get to play their same character again in a different area.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's so cool. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we've done Van Wilder before. I don't remember. I
don't know if we did because you had such a hate of.
Yeah, I know that was back in the day, but I don't know.
Back in the day, that was what he was known for.
Yeah, that's very true.
And so, like, I could see your distaste for him, and I was like, "Come on, man!" And then nowadays, he's like,
yeah.
Anytime he does like an original film, I'm like, okay, he's like just extremely talented and giving us something new.
Yeah, give it a try. I'm still waiting for that 6 Underground sequel we're never going to get, but it's okay. I swear we did a Van Wilder, but I guess not. Nope. Well, we can always do it now. Anyway, not now, but now, in the future now.
Yeah.
Anyway. But this movie, man, just, oh God. And these actors, like you're mentioning with Paul Gleason, like, I mean, just the career he had. Like, his film debut was in 1962 in something called Panic in Year Zero. He was uncredited in that as a gas station owner. And like you already said, he's either playing doctors or police officers or border guards or cops or sheriffs or whatever. And obviously he's in another one of our favorite movies that we have covered in the past, but he was Clarence Beeks in Trading Places 2 years before this. Oh, I forgot he was in an episode of the A-Team.
Twice.
In the eight?
He was in the A-Team twice. 2 different characters.
Oh, okay. Okay, 2 different listings. Gotcha. Okay, yep. Very cool. Interesting. But yeah, no, very cool. Just absolutely love that guy. And then, oh boy, it's a dang shame that, you know, Deputy Dwayne T. Robinson couldn't have come back in other Die Hard movies at the time. That would have been funny if they brought him back. So going to Mr. Estevez, oh boy, his filmography. He debuted in an uncredited role in 1973 called The Badlands. He was the boy under the lamppost in that. He was in Apocalypse Now in 79. He was in The Outsiders as Two-Bit in 83. Have you ever read that or seen that movie? The Outsiders?
No.
Okay. I read it a long time ago in school. Oh, Emilio is in St. Elmo's Fire. Okay. And I'm sorry, St. Elmo's Fire did not come out 2 years. Wow, St. Elmo's Fire and The Breakfast Club came out in the same year? Holy crap, 85, really? Yeah, that is Rob Lowe, Demi Moore, Emilio Estevez, Ali Sheedy. Oh, wow, they're all in it. Andrew McCarthy, okay. Well, we'll figure that out later. That was then Maximum Overdrive, Stakeout, Young Guns, Never on a Tuesday, Young Guns 2. And then obviously in 1992, he would become Coach Gordon Bombay in the Mighty Ducks.
Which he was really good at.
Yes, up until Disney screwed it up. Stupid Disney, always screwing shit up. Have you ever seen, now I'm pretty sure we've never covered this, but have you ever seen National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1?
It's been a long time. But yeah, I know he's in that, and I think Bruce Willis is in it.
He's got a cameo, yeah.
That's what I meant. They blow up his house.
Yeah, they blow up his house. Yeah,
he's like, "Come on,
yeah, come on!" It's Emilio, Samuel Jackson, Kathy Ireland, Frank McRae, Tim Curry, and William. Oh, Shatner's in there. Oh yeah, we're covering that first of the year. Yep. And he famously has one of the best lines in the entirety of the Mission Impossible franchise, which turns 30 years old next year because Mission Impossible came out in 96 and all that. But in Mission Impossible from 1996, when he's explaining the explosive gum to Tom Cruise, he phrases it like, "Hasta lasagna, don't get any on ya." Absolutely love it. That, and he's done some TV stuff as well, like we mentioned. He's got a bunch of TV stuff that he's done here through various things. He was on. Oh wow! He directed 2 episodes of Cold Case and 1 or 2 episodes of CSI New York. Wow, that's interesting. Huh? I did not know that. Which 2? Now I need to find out which 2 episodes, because Cold Case is kind of my jam. I did not realize he was doing the directing bit. Interesting. So that's Emilio. Absolutely love Emilio. He is awesome. Anthony Michael Hall. His career. Wow. Just a lot of stuff, obviously. Debuted, as I'm losing my voice, debuted in 1982 as Doc in a film called Six Pack. He was the first Russell Rusty Griswold in National Lampoon's Vacation in 1983, a film I still have not watched all the way through because I don't give 2 craps about them going to Wally World. I only care about Christmas. 16 Candles in 84, Breakfast Club in 85, Weird Science, he would play Gary Wallace in 85. I don't think, did he return for the TV series? Because I think that's different. I don't remember, because there was a TV series version of Weird Science on USA, but I don't remember if he returned for that. He might have, but they might have recasted him. I don't remember. I don't see it, so no, they probably recast him for that. Okay. Anyway, Weird Science. Out of Bounds. He was in Edward Scissorhands as Jim in 90. So the Anthony Michael Hall character is who Brian was. I like him. He's kind of cool. He's played some interesting roles over the years. But lately I haven't really like in the last, I'd say since we started the network, I think his role as Mike Ingle in The Dark Knight was the last thing I saw him in. And I don't even really remember the Mike Ingle role. I think it was, I really don't remember at all.
I don't remember nothing.
Yeah. So there's that. Now, Carl Reed, the janitor, played by John Kapelos. He debuted in 1981 in a film called The Thief, or Thief. He played mechanic number 3. He was in Tootsie as an actor at Party, but it was an uncredited role. He was also in 16 Candles as Rudy. He was also in Weird Science as Dino. He was in Roxanne with Steve Martin. He was Chuck in that movie. Steve Martin played Cyrano in Roxanne. Let's see. After that, Man Trouble, Guilty as Sin, The Shadow in 1994. Oh, he was in The Craft, which turns 30 years old next year. He plays Ray in The Craft. Everybody loves The Craft, folks. It's the Witches movie. He was in Legally Blonde in 2001. And yeah, there's nothing past that Santa Buddies. He was in one of the Santa Buddies movies. He was in The Shape of Water in 2017. But from this one role, I could see myself watching some of his other earlier stuff. Do we really need to talk about Judd Nelson? He's Hot Rod. That's all you need to know, folks. He was in Transformers. Like, really? Come on. Like I mentioned, he is in St. Elmo's Fire. He plays Alec Newberry. It's funny because he debuted in Rock and Roll Hotel as Rocker Johnny. After that, he was in Making the Grade as Eddie Keaton. Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire. Fandango was also in 85. He played Phil Hicks and Grover. And then Transformers was after that. Blue City, From the Hip, Relentless, Never on a Tuesday. He was in New Jack City as Nick Peretti. I don't remember. Well, it's been a while since I've seen New Jack City, so there's that. Oh, dude, something we will have to cover at some point. He's in Airheads. I forgot he was in Airheads. He plays Jimmy Wing in Airheads. He was the sheriff in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, so there's that. What the hell? In 2006, he was in National Lampoon's TV The Movie. He plays the Fear Factor host / Judd. I don't think I've ever seen National Lampoon's TV The Movie. What the hell? Okay. He was in the Boondock Saints 2, All Saints Day. And then more recently, in the last, let's say, 10 years, he was in something called Private Number. He was in Stagecoach, The Texas Jack Story in 2016. In 2018, The Billionaire Boys Club. In 2019, Santa Fake. Electric Jesus, Dauntless, The Battle of Midway. And then 3 years ago, he was in Most Dangerous Game. TV credits. There are numerous ones here. So he's been in a lot of TV from 86 on to today. The most recent TV credit he had was he was in an episode. He was in 2 television films, one in 2021 and then one this year, The Engagement Plan, which I'm assuming is a Hallmark television film, I'm assuming.
I have no idea, but I do know that he reprised his role of Rodimus Prime in Transformers Animated, as well as Transformers Titans Return and Power of the Primes.
Power of the Primes, yep. Yay for reprisals. He was in an episode of Psych. He was the guru in Phineas and Ferb, in the Isabella and the Temple. Oh! Now I need to go back and grab that audio or find it in my clips already because, wow, I remember that now. But yeah, he has reprised as Rodimus in several series, which is awesome. So very, very, very cool. Molly Ringwald as Claire Standish. Oh boy, her filmography. She debuted in 1982 in a film called Tempest. And she was in all 3 of the things. 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, and Pretty in Pink from Hughes. She did King Lear in 1987. Honestly, after those 3, there's nothing here. I'm already up to 1999. Teaching Mrs. Tingle. I remember that. And then after that, not another teen movie. She was in that with them. She played the flight attendant. Oh, wow. Oh, that's right. She played Aunt Bailey in Gem and the Holograms in 2015. I remember her being in that. And then, yeah, she played Mrs. Flynn in 3 films called The Kissing Booth. She played herself in Judy Blume Forever, which is the 2023 documentary film centered on author Judy Blume, directed by Davina Pardo. So there's that. Then next year she's got 2 films that are coming out, Run Amok and One Night Only. But what... Oh, she was only in 2 episodes of that. I thought she was in more than that. Oh, that's why. Okay. So where I do remember Molly Ringwald from is she debuted on TV in 79 and 80 in Different Strokes and The Facts of Life as Molly Parker. She was only on Different Strokes for 2 episodes, but then she had the main role as that character in seasons 1 and 2 for 14 episodes. So I do remember seeing her on The Facts of Life. I love that show. Classic TV. Gotta love it, folks. Gotta love it. And then closing it out crew here with Ali Sheedy, where I mainly remember her. Well, there was a film in 1983 called Bad Boys, not to be confused with the Will Smith, Martin Lawrence 1995 Bad Boys film. So there's that. She was in Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire. But she was Stephanie Speck in Short Circuit 1 and 2, Johnny Five is Alive, which celebrates its 40th anniversary next year.
Yeah, the only films on here that I see that I recognize her from outside of Breakfast Club is War Games and Short Circuit 1 and 2.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of the other films that she's done either, which is sad. I don't know if it's sad that we don't recognize them because we haven't. Ooh, she was Scott Summers' teacher in X-Men Apocalypse, even though I haven't seen X-Men Apocalypse, but at least I recognize the movie.
I've seen it, but I don't remember that. But
yeah,
but you also get a bunch of, like, I don't know, in Short Circuit, you get a bunch of voice actors and you get 2 Police Academy alumni in it, Steve Guttenberg and G.W. Bailey.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, folks. So that's the main cast. I didn't even notice that John Hughes himself was uncredited cameo as Brian's father, Mr. Johnson. I didn't even notice that.
I didn't know what he looked like, so it wouldn't have impacted me whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't even oh, that's why. So, interesting thing here is that I was reading in the casting thing for some of this is that Anthony Michael Hall, his mother and sister played his character's mother and sister in the film, so that's his real life mom and sister when you see them.
Interesting.
But yeah, Breakfast Club, folks, 40 years ago this year. Just wow. This movie just, and the funny thing is, I don't looking at all of these things, and I've already done this with. I did this last year for its 25th anniversary. My friend Jennifer Kaufman and I discussed 10 Things I Hate About You, which was 25 years old last year. That film, which is based off of Taming of the Shrew by Shakespeare, but it also has high school cliquey things in it and whatever kind of things. So it's similar to this where it has high school cliques. I don't ever remember being in high school cliques like this. I don't ever remember being, you're this type, you're that type, you're this type, you're that type. I don't ever remember having a group of friends in high school like in any of the high school movies that do this type of stuff. I was never a jock, but I guess I would go in with the geeks, but the way that Brian to physics club and math club, I wasn't that kind of geek. I hate math. Math is evil. But I don't know. I don't know where I would classify myself in a school clique. It wouldn't be any of these 5. I can probably tell you that. I don't know, but no, it was fun rewatching this. I had a lot of, and the music. We can't leave before we talk about the music really quick, because damn, the music in this. I mean, Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me. I mean, that's the soundtrack of this entire movie. So there's that, but just so freaking cool. Just absolutely love. You had Fire in the Twilight by Wang Chung. You had other songs by Simple Minds that are in here. But literally, really, Don't You Forget About Me is literally this whole movie. And that's the point. They don't want you to forget about them. They know that they're going to have to go back to their own lives, but at least they have Saturday in detention this one time in 1985 at this Shermer High School in Illinois. We were in detention together. Yay! Anyway, it was fun. Look, I'm waiting for you to say something here.
I don't have anything else to say, like, as far as like this stuff. Like, I enjoyed the film for what it was, and the characterizations, and the fact that they kind of came full circle from where they were at the beginning to where they were at the end. As totally different people by the end of the day. And I felt like part of the movie dragged on a little bit.
Did you? Which part?
Just in the library when they were doing kind of nothing, and it was just a lot of staring and minimal, just kind of a little bit of the banter before they kind of got into it. But it wasn't bad. It's just, a little, but I think it's a John Hughes thing. So I like his films. I feel like the pacing it's almost too realistic in how it would be paced or feeling. Like, so, I mean, I get it, but like, I also want the suspension of disbelief. And that's some degree where I feel like some of the things get kind of lost there.
Right.
But I don't have any issue with it either way. I found it different.
Yep. All right, so 0 to 5 with half points. What are you going to give The Breakfast Club?
I'll probably, just based on the cast and a lot of the fun that was in it, I would probably give it a 4.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 4 to 5. I'm only taking a point off because I don't see myself fitting into, like, I don't know who I could be friends with out of this group. Like, I don't know who I could go up to and approach and have a conversation with, like how they're having conversations with each other kind of thing. So, overall, 4 to 5. Very awesome. All right, folks. It's, as of this recording, it's the end of the year, unfortunately. Or, fortunately, because 2025 has been it's been good overall for the most part, but it's also been So no ad break this time around. We're just going to close it out. Anything you'd like to promote, sir?
I don't think so.
No Altered Geek, no video stuff, no nothing?
Well, I don't know what I've got going on. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So,
well, that's what we do best around here. Come on, man. Pick up your pants already.
Well, wouldn't have anything to do with you activities people being assholes now, would it?
This is getting expensive.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining us here inside Studio 2009. You can visit geekcastradio.com and listen to all the content that we have over there. Over 4,000 episodes. Oh, boy. You can visit the store, shop.geekcastradio.com. Buy our stuff. Feedback at geekcastradio.com for all your emailing needs. Email us, please. You can catch us on any of the podcatching clients you choose to use. You can join our Discord. The link will be in the post on the website. Next time you'll hear us doing something. I don't know. Episode 164 is currently in limbo, so I have no idea. Right now I have 165 to 169 planned, and 165 to 168 are fully edited and ready to go. 164, though, is hanging on by a thread. So for now, I am TFG1Mike with
Steve Megatron.
You'll hear us back in the studio soon.